Hello and welcome to another episode of The Brightside. Today we're in Lelant at St Uny Church to have a little mooch around a church that is very special in my heart because quite a few of my ancestors are buried here. So let's go check it out. Hey.
Hey.
You right?
Yeah, you?
Yes, I am. I'm just kind of excited because I know where one of like the plots
Might be.
is.
Kind of.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been here a few times, so I definitely know where that one is.
Oh.
But also, I want to try and find some of the people, some of my ancestors who I know are buried here, but I've never found their actual grave sites. Grave sites? Is that such a word? You know what I mean?
Graves.
Graves. A relatively quiet road. This is, I think it's called Church Road. Down in that direction is Lelant, the village of Lelant. And obviously, if you're unfamiliar with the area, you drive through Lelant to get to St Ives. But we are going to come down in this direction. Sorry about the wind on the audio, because we're going to get to the church dedicated to St Uny and have a little mooch round. We cover a few of the local churches, don't we? And have a little look round anyway. So we'll do that, and then we'll have a little look for some of my forebears. Okay, so here we are. Welcome to the parish church, St Uny, Lelant. Now, what Shelley and I have just seen, which we didn't realise was on, I don't know any times, but apparently there's a funeral happening today. So we were going to look around the church. We definitely don't want to gate crash a funeral. So we might have to come back and cover the church again. We'll have a little look a minute, but we'll still be able to have a little look round here and whatnot. Right, awesome. So I think there was like a groundsman here who was, because obviously you can hear, they're doing some grass trimming. Now apparently the funeral isn't until this afternoon, so we actually can have a little look inside the church. Here it is. It is a medieval structure. I'll try and find some dates in a minute online. As usual, you know with me, I just wing it. I haven't really done much in the way of research. Okay. All right, heading in. Okay, let's close that, and hopefully these thick old walls will be able to block out a lot of the...
I love that churches have gone modern. You can now give a donation.
Oh, like tap and go. Indeed. Yeah, anyway, so this is it. The church, the church dedicated to St Uny here at Lelant. So they've got some information here about St Michael's Way, a walk through time. St Michael's Way helped to link medieval travellers into one of the world's major pilgrimage routes, leading to the shrine of St James in northwest Spain, El Camino de Santiago de Compostela or something, of which it is now an official part. Yet the story of this ancient route is an even older one. From the year 500. The way welcomed waves of Celtic saints from Ireland and Wales, including Piran and Petroc. So they're Cornwall's patron saints, if you don't know. St Piran is the more popular, I would say. But yeah, all right, there it is. Again, you'll have to forgive my lack of knowledge regarding like church architecture and the like. I'm just gonna point and shoot the camera around so you guys can get a feel of what this beautiful building is like inside. There's going to be the you can see like the ropes there. I don't know if you can see them on camera, so I assume that's where like your bell pulling people sort of stand and pull their bells. I don't know, what are they called? Shell bell? No. What are the bell pulling people called? I'll put you on the spot now because I can't think. I kind of know it, but I can't think what it is off the top of my head. The bell pulling people. Yeah, should we just leave it at that?
They're the ring... They're the...
Puller...
Are they not just bell ringers?
Bell ring. Oh yeah, bell ringers. So many of these churches now, they have like this little kitchen area, or a kitchen area, at the back usually. Just come across these old like artifacts here, which are just here on display. I mean, ultimately you could reach out and touch them, but I'm assuming that they're trusting But you're not going to do that because they seem to date to the 1640s. Something to do with Charles
I.
Almost like as a thanks everyone for
coming to our aid.
yeah. Cornwall was royalist, wasn't it? Anyway, so that's something to do with that. Little play area for the kiddos, some books and whatnot. Just some little tiny table. So some of the family history to do with me is that here at Lelant, a substantial amount of my family on my father's side were from, and right here on this spot on the 8th of February 1875, my great-great-grandmother married my great-great-grandfather. That kind of blows my mind that right here, two ancestors said their vows and got married. 1875, that blows my mind. And before that, on the 8th of September 1861, my second great-grandfather married his bride here. So again, 1861 and 1875, two significant weddings. And without those weddings, I wouldn't be here. Just here on the wall, by this wreath, we've got here that says roll of the men of St Uny Lelant who were called to serve in the Great War, 1914-1918. And the very first one at the top, Vernon Andrew. He is my great-grandfather. Don't know who William Andrew is. I assume they're related. I assume it's somebody that I haven't discovered yet in the family tree. But Vernon Andrew, there he is. He's my great-grandfather. How about that? Right, so we've had a little look around inside. Very interesting. Again, awesome to see where my ancestors got married. It's just it's weird. But yeah, we're gonna have a little look outside, and I know where the Andrew family plot is. Yes. But I want to find more of the Andrew.
There's one special grave out there.
There is one very special grave, which we will focus on in a minute. But yeah, I want to find more Andrews. So Andrew was the surname, and they've got a big plot here where my grandparents are. Again, this is on my dad's side. But there are a number of graves with my ancestors that I've never found. Apparently, I was looking online, some of the headstones in the old cemetery here, or graveyard, whatever, have been lost. But the one I'm really after, there's an online inscription. So it's been read at some point, so it has to be here somewhere. Let's go find him. Actually, Shelley just pointed out something that I didn't think about, but of course all the family from Lelant, they would have all been christened here at this font. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okie dokie. Right, so that's the inside. Goodness, that's a rather elaborate. Oh, the Prades, yeah. So they're quite a big sort of family associated with this area. I was going to say that's quite a significant tomb, but yeah. So that's the inside of the church looked at. We'll have a little scoot around the sort of external area. The guy I'm after is called Waldron.
Yeah.
Waldron Andrew. Now he's buried with his wife and his daughter. They are somewhere in the old graveyard. You've got the newer end over there, and there's an even newer end, I think, over there. But this is the old section. So that is basically who we are looking for, Waldron Andrew. But there are also, if you see a grave with Watty on it, W-H-A-T-T-Y, there, that will also be family. Gosh, there's no real hope of seeing who is in this one. This one is very weather worn, and obviously all this mossy stuff grown on it. Again, sorry about the wind. Shellbell has found something. What have you got?
Waldron Andrew.
Oh gosh. There it is.
Can we see the church? They were obviously...
Well, Waldron Andrew, he was listed in something as being nobility. So I don't exactly, I know apparently looking at some of the censuses, he had a shop in Lelant, but he was also, I found this card, and he was like an accountant. Still much I need to learn about Waldron, but look at this. This is it. Waldron Andrew. So let's see if we can make some of this out. So loving. Hang on a minute. Let me look off camera. Right, so we've looked at it now a bit closer, off camera. So in loving memory of our dear parents, Rebecca Husking Andrew, 1803 to 1845, so she was only 42, wasn't she? She wasn't very old when she died. So Waldron outlived her quite a bit. So Waldron Andrew, 1802 to 1870. Also, our dear sister, Kate Andrew. Now, I believe that is Catherine Ann Andrew. Now, she was only 17 when she died. So Rebecca died first in 1845, and then a few years later in 1857, Kate. And I've got a feeling she was an artist, because on the back of this card, which was Waldron's business card, there is a beautiful drawing of a rabbit. And we've got other artwork belonging to Kate, and she was actually quite a talented artist. So yeah, so there we have it. Now we're going to try and make out what this chunk says. It's obviously cracked in half and fallen over, but we'll see if we can make out that one in a minute. So there he is, Waldron Andrew, my third great-grandfather. His wife Rebecca and their daughter Kate. Again, I believe she was Catherine. And obviously when it said also our beloved sister, obviously, you know, kept up and whatnot by the other siblings. Interesting. Thomas Andrew was one of Waldron's sons, who then had my great-grandfather Vernon Andrew. So that would make Thomas my second great-grandfather, Waldron my third great-grandfather. So there they are, right by the church, in quite a prominent space. Like I said, I saw somewhere that he was considered, I think nobility was the wrong word. I'm just trying to think of what the word, gentry. Yeah. That was the word, gentry. That was what I read. But I don't know whether that was like more profession. I need to obviously do more research on the Andrew line. They originally came from Falmouth. So at some point, Waldron found his way here to Lelant because he, I assume, married Rebecca. Yeah. But don't you think it's quite a big plot, isn't it?
I think there's other people.
I think that we we can't make out any of that, by the way. It's pardon me, ancestors. It is so weather-worn. You can see the top of it cracked off. There's a massive crack through there. We can't make out any.
I might come back. We might get some paper at some point and come back with a crayon.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I was gonna say you can see, but it is just so weather-worn. Actually, that's a little bit more. What does that say?
In the grave. It'll be a poem.
Sorry, I'm just very excited. But yeah, so that kind of blows my mind. Found him and his family, Waldron, Rebecca, and Kate. Yeah, this is quite a large plot here. We definitely think that there's more than just the three of them, because I found records to an Augusta Andrew who died in 1865. I mean, the chances are, I mean, she must be here. It's just this is unfortunately so
I
unreadable.
don't know how many people they would put in a plot. I know there are rules now, but I don't know when those rules came in.
I don't know. I mean, 6 is the maximum as far as I know, but I don't know.
But this might be a double.
It could be a double plot, yeah, because it's bigger than
Or even
the other
triple,
Andrew
to be
plot,
honest,
which we'll go
even
to in a
triple
minute.
It could be. It's
Yeah.
huge.
It is quite a large. It is quite a substantial
And that's
grave.
quite a
Yeah.
big stone
Yeah.
with lots of writing on it.
Yeah. You think though, this guy, born in 1802. I mean, that was before the Battle of Trafalgar. You know, again, just to put it into historical context. I mean, that's amazing. See, the problem here in the old part of the graveyard is that so many of these stones are unreadable. And we are just having a little glance around just to see. So Waldron is just tucked around that side. But we are just having a little glance around just to see if any other names spring out to us, like Watty and Nielsen. But I can't find any sort of mentioning of those names here. There is a Nielsen, and I'll show you his grave in a minute, because his is a very well, these are all important sort of markers, they're all important, but his particularly sticks out here at Lelant. Right, so here's the church, here's the path that splits up the graveyard. Commonwealth War graves. So there is another Andrew plot over here, and then there is a Nielsen, so I'll show you those a minute. Okay, a little bit overgrown. Now my mum and dad and me, we came over here a couple of months ago, and we actually hacked back a lot of all the foliage, but obviously being the summer, it's grown right back. Nothing grows quite like a weed. There's 6 ancestors of mine in here. The first one died in 1878. Now, she was called Rebecca Andrew, and I believe she was the sister of Waldron, I think. We've got here, it's all a bit prickly. We've got here so this lady, Elizabeth Hosking Andrew, was the second person in this grave, and she would have been an auntie to my great-grandfather, and she was 80. She was 85 when she died in 1919, so she lived a long time. The bit there for Rebecca is that one. So Rebecca, Elizabeth, and then so Gran. So my dad and his sisters put this bit here. So this is my great-grandmother Louisa Hansen, because she was half Norwegian. Louisa Hansen Andrew, and she died there in 1961. So I never met her. That's when she died, and she was married to Vernon Andrew, who is the sailor, and he died in 1925, and he would have been my dad's grandfather, and my dad obviously never met him. Then my granny Gwendolyn, who died in 1987, and then her sister, my great auntie Joan. Auntie Joan. I've said before that Auntie Joan, one of my favourite humans ever, because I remember as a kid, because she actually died a week after her sister, my gran. She died within a week, and I always remember like the massive bear hugs that she would give me. It was, they used to like squeeze the life out of me, but I used to love it. But anyway, that's the 6 people in there, so that's another Andrew plot. Probably people are thinking, why am I interested in your like family tree? But I'm kind of I stated this in a previous video when we were talking about Charles Nielsen, who was the ferryman, who would be my second great grandfather. It all gets a bit confusing. Now, he was the ferryman over there that would go across from Lelant to Hale, and I stated in that video that, to be honest, I just wanted to put this content in for myself, for Matilda and AJ. I wanted the kids, so in years and years to come, they could like look back at these videos and say, oh, so that's so and so and so and so, and that's where she's buried, or whatnot. So it is kind of like a personal history for me, and I know I'm putting it out there like on YouTube and whatnot, but it's our, I think the whole thing with YouTube and us, it's almost like a video diary of what we do, so that the kids can look back on it, if that makes sense. And this was just a part of, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to be overly interested, because, you know, everyone has their own family line.
Might be some cousins.
There'll be lots of cousins out there somewhere. But yeah, so, but yeah, to me, this is obviously of particular interest, and the children, I want them to obviously know about it. That's really why I'm documenting it and putting it on the channel, because, for family history, I think it's important. Right, now, I just mentioned his name a minute ago, Charles Nielsen, my second great-grandfather, who came from Norway. Now, he had children. Obviously, he had children, because I'm here. And Louisa was his daughter. He's buried just over there. My great-granny. And her brother, so his son, was Andreas Nielsen. And Andreas Nielsen, he fought in World War I, and he didn't die in France or wherever they were fighting, but he basically sustained horrendous injuries that basically he was invalided out of the army, and he came back home to Lelant, and, you know, a couple of years later he passed away, which is why in this direction we have a what they call the Commonwealth graves, don't they? They're the Commonwealth graves, and you usually see the Commonwealth graves for the war dead like on the continent and like close to the battlefields and whatnot. So I assume this is relatively unique. It's certainly unique here, because I don't think there's not another gravestone like it here in Lelant. But just up here, right at the far side, is my great-granduncle, Andreas Nielsen. So there he is. So my great-granduncle passed away 9th of October 1918, and he was 34. There he is, Andreas Henry Nielsen. And there's his number, and he was a private in the Army Service Corps. Yeah. Ever remembered by his loving wife and family. I believe he married a girl called Emily. But again, I haven't done a huge amount of research on that side yet. But there he is. There's Andreas. Right, so we have had a little look around there. There'll be other family members. Like I said, a significant part of my lineage on my dad's side is here at Lelant. They came from Lelant and St Ives. So that was very good. Thank you, my dove, for indulging me and whatnot.
Finding your great-great-great-granddad.
Yeah, third great-grandfather, Waldron Andrew. To me, that's, you know, it's significant to me. I know you guys are thinking, Anyway, now, you do realise Halloween approaches. The season of ghouls is here.
Is that why you were dragging me around the graveyard?
Nope. But what has started is pumpkin spice season. So should we go to Starbucks and have...
Starbies.
Should we go to Starbucks and have a pumpkin spice latte?
Let's do it.
Made it to Starbucks. A little bit backlit there with the sun. This is the one at Logansmore at Hale. If you're wondering, where the heck have they gone? It was only a few miles up the road from where we were in the land. A little short commute. Right, so pumpkin spice season. Let's head in. Okay, we're going all in on the pumpkin spice. Apart from that, that was a new item that was like a chicken barbecue thing, which with panini, which looked quite nice. I've got the large pumpkin spice latte. Shelley has got a pumpkin spice frappuccino, and then we got a pumpkin spice cookie. So we're going to cut that in half, and enjoy that. And there it is. I think you either like pumpkin spice or you don't. What do you think?
Yes,
it's a bit of a, yeah. I think people are like, you know, like disgusted by it, or they conceive true beauty and majesty that is pumpkin spice. Cheers. Cheers. Shall we sort of like clank that like that? I don't know if that's, you know, appropriate, but... Luckily, I love pumpkin spice beverages, I'm not gonna lie, this is delicious. How's your pumpkin spice frap?
Pumpkin spicy.
Is it nice? Yeah, it's good. Well, I don't need these on anymore. Yeah. We made it home after a very successful
trip to the graveyard.
Yeah, we found who we wanted to find.
We did.
Excellent. A little piece to the story, I think. Anyway, we're going to leave the video there. I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, smash the bell. Check us out on all of our socials at The Brightside. So, from us to you, cheers. And gone.